Cindy Rogers, still Ward 4. So I moved here in 1997 to work at OU in the economics department. And honestly, we didn't think we'd be here that long. We thought we'd be sort of a drive-by, stick around. But we're here. We raised our kids here. And I didn't really do much engagement in city business because I was busy trying to get promoted in tenure. And then in 2006, former Mayor Rosenthal gave me a call and said, as I'm sure you're aware, which I wasn't, and it had to do with the TIF. So since then, I've really been paying attention to all this TIF business because I do public finance. And so let me ask a question. Why did it make sense to use tax increment financing for the Rock Creek Entertainment District project, or even for the original UMP TIF? Why didn't we use bonds like we do to build roads? Or a special purpose sales tax like we did for Norman Forward Quality of Life? Why TIF? Why is TIF the right tool? Besides getting around a public vote, why TIF? Well, if you've been paying attention when these things are talked about, oh, a TIF protects the city because it doesn't put the full faith and credit of the city at risk, because you're only obligated to make payments from the increment collections in the district that you create as you collect them, not in advance, not a certain amount. You could cap it, but you don't really know how much you're going to collect. And I think it's really important to remember that's the point of TIF, is it protects the city budget. It's not like a GO bond, which we vote on, but that doesn't actually protect the city from claims if they're not paid off. So I'm here tonight talking for Oklahomans for Responsible Economic Development, which is the organization that put forth the referendum petition, which 11,000 people signed. People were driving to us in cars, at little tents. There was an incredible amount of emotion and amount of voice that people wanted to vote on this project. And our mission, and we're committed to this, is to bring this arena to a vote of the people. And if people love it and they want to commit this much of city funds for a new arena, then fine, they'll vote yes. And if they don't, then we could put together another plan. But that's ultimately our goal. So if people say other things, you just don't want this, no, we want to vote to see if people want to support it. So I think you'll find, and we'll be bringing forth more information, but the other thing about a TIF that's really good, and actually the Arena TIF, the Rock Creek Entertainment TIF contract, the Economic Development Agreement, has some good parts to it. Believe it or not, I'm going to tell you there's some good parts, because the contract language is pretty specific. So section 8.06 is a part that says you can't be individually held liable. And section 9.01 clarifies that only the increment is what's obligated.
This is section 8.06 from the signed Arena Economic Development Agreement, Non-liability of Officials, Employees, and Agents of NTIFA or the City.
No official, employee, or agent of NTIFA, the City or CC Trust shall be personally liable to landowner or CC Trust or any successors in interest, pursuant to the provisions of this agreement, for any default or breach by NTIFA or the City.
This is section 9.01 from the signed Arena Economic Development Agreement, NTIFA's and the City's Obligations Limited.
Nothing in this agreement is intended to require or obligate, nor shall anything herein be interpreted to require or obligate NTIFA or the City to provide, apply, or make any payment or advance from any revenue or funds coming into its hands other than the public assistance, and in the manner provided in this agreement. The City and/or NTIFA shall have no liability for repayment of any indebtedness incurred by developer parties or any assignee of developer parties pursuant to this agreement, other than the obligation to collect, account for, and timely provide the public assistance as herein authorized and agreed.
Contract language is pretty specific. So section 8.06 is a part that says you can't be individually held liable. And Section 9.01 clarifies that only the increment is what's obligated, only as you collect it. So this idea that you would be responsible for a payment of an increment that's not collected just seems far-fetched and in direct conflict with the contract that you have that's existing. So I hope we can be really careful about understanding the protections that TIF give us. And I hope you will have the courage